everyone. Welcome to the sixth episode of our Proppy Podcast. We'll be having our live podcast sessions every Sunday night. So please do come in, get to know us more. Other than having a live page and a sharing session, we are also recording this podcast to be posted in Podbean and YouTube. So we want to welcome all of our Zoom attendees here this evening. And if you are here for the first time, you're probably invited by your close friends, who is also one of our Proppians, our close friend as well, our brother and sister. So welcome. Thank you for spending your time with us on a Sunday night. And we are now back to CMCO, right? I believe there should be more and more plans coming up on your Sunday nights. So thanks for being here tonight. I hope we'll be able to share with you a little secret here. If you're new here, this is a part 2, as we promised last Sunday. This is a continuation of last week's sharing. So if you have not listened to part 1, please do so. Subscribe and follow us on our channels. We have on our Facebook, our Podbean, and as well as YouTube. So today we'll be sharing with you about Proppy's true value. What are the investment opportunities, and if you heard or seen this anywhere in our posts, your friends' posts in Facebook, why we say ini Kalilah? Yes, why is this now or never for all of us here? My name is Vivian Chong. I am the ESG advocate of ProppyApp. Tonight, we are having a slight change on our roles, right? So thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here hosting for our podcast. And we're very honored to have 2 guests with us tonight. We have once again Mr. Charles Lee, our property shadow with us tonight. Hi, Charles.
Hello, hi.
Yes, if you don't know Charles yet, Charles also works with one of the largest property agencies in the world. He will be sharing with us tonight from his experience, from his perspectives of the market. And of course, I have to introduce him the way he always introduces me. We have our incredible, awesome, charismatic, inspiring, motivating.
More.
You see, he doesn't stop me like I stop him, right? Because he enjoys this, I know.
I'm so happy that actually I've been holding back from actually saying anything because I want to actually I'm not stealing any thunder from Vivian.
Yes.
But I'm so happy to actually have you reverse the role, isn't it, Charles? Isn't it wonderful to actually have someone else take the? Yes, man. I think we should do this all the time, right?
I'm very honored to be here.
Do you second that, Charles? Yes, we all second that. From now on, rather than having a botak bald guy, I think we all enjoy to have Vivian taking charge of all this podcast. Thank you, Vivian. I'm looking forward to have you.
Like I said, you're inspiring, you're motivating, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
More.
Oh, I have to use thesaurus for this next time.
Yes, please do your homework before you actually do this properly. All right, thank you. Thanks again.
Right,
I'm honored to be the guest this time around.
Yeah, so this is our Mr. Ngow. Yes, Ivan is our Chief Marketing and Communications Officer. So tonight, Ivan will, of course, sharing from the corporate perspective and also answering our questions about what Proppy really is. All right? So
I'll try.
Thank you. So now we are here today, why Proppy? We are always asking. Yeah, can we share the slide, please? Yes. Why Proppy? We're going to talk about how ProppyApp is the one and only multifunctional app that allows you to save money and make money from your property and other people's property. We're always saying that there are a few things that we want to share with you. How is it a multifunctional? How is it a super app? How is it going to help users save money and make money? And users can do this for their own property even if they are not homeowners. They will still be benefiting from other people's property because everyone needs a home. We are not here to share a lot of all of the features with you like we did in the past sessions. So we are here to talk about what is Proppy, what do we stand for, what does Proppy stand for. As we mentioned last week in part 1, there's been some game changers, if you can recall, in some of the most important industries in our daily lives. These There are game changers that have disrupted the markets, right? We have like Uber for rideshare, we have Airbnb for hospitality and lodging, we have Alibaba for retail and e-commerce. What about property? If you realize that there isn't any we call it like market disrupting app in this industry other than functioning as the very traditional yellow pages kind of app. Well, our vision here in Proppy is to revolutionize the property industry and be the world's leading property-based all-in-one portal. Now, we are not here to explain all the features in the app again. We've covered quite a lot of that in part one. We are here today to talk about why Proppy. I really want to share with you where we are now, who we are, why are we doing what we're doing. Well, so who are we? Let me share with you our founders team. So this is our co-founders team. Looking there, taking care of our all of our legalities work is our Mr. Will Fang, who is currently serving as the senior foreign counsel with Brando Law Firm in Beijing. He's also the present chairman of the Malaysian Chamber of Commerce and Industry in China. And we have also Datuk Sri Williman. He has over 30 years of corporate advisory and management consultancy work in Asia, Africa, and Europe as well. And he himself is a venture capitalist. His key areas are in the field of startup funding, IPO, and international investments. Leading our Marcom wing is our Mr. Ivan Ngow, who is with us tonight, who has held leadership positions in retail and marketing, managing key accounts, providing end-to-end training solutions, delivery in the areas of leadership, team alignment, strategics, communications, and PR solutions. He has also served as the Chief Communications Officer of a global crypto exchange startup in Singapore. And heading our sales wing is Mr. Sean Yap, who is currently the Malaysian country chair of MDRT, Million Dollar Roundtable. He's had a wide exposure in the engineering and project management industry, and he's delivered more than 60 million worth of private and government projects in the intelligent transportation system industry. And he's also an ultra marathon runner, whom I hope will soon start leading us in our Proppians marathon training as well.
Okay, so, I'm not going to go for that.
Okay, maybe you can take your motorbikes. Yeah, support us. Oh, maybe you can prepare your otak.
Yes, I will prepare all the otak and just welcome all of you, at the end of the ultra marathon.
We wouldn't mind, yeah. And our two founders, Dr. Max Chen, he has more than 27 years of experience in the software architecture, design and development industry. He has led key projects for several IT infrastructure projects for the government of Malaysia, such as the KLIA IT notification system and the North-South Highway integration system. And Dr. Max has also founded numerous IT companies. He's currently leading our product development team, building the Proppy app himself. And of course, our thought leader and founder, Mr. Lee Wilson. He's a well-known international business consultant and a technology architect. He's also an eminent figure in the blockchain world as well. People who knows him will know that he has very unique trend sensitivity. He's always telling us that we have to watch for the future trend, and then if the trend is ongoing, and it's already too late to be joining in. Yeah. So next on, our chairman, Tunku Nakyudin, who is the founder of the Federation of Public Listed Companies himself. Our founders and co-founders team have been meeting up with Tunku quite regularly. He has also been very hands-on in giving ideas and suggestions to ProppyApp himself. I know that Ivan, you've been meeting with Tunku quite regularly, right? Do you want to share with us your meetings with Tunku?
I am actually quite honored also to actually have the privilege to sit in and not just do a update, but sit in for a working meeting. This is a corporate man who is definitely very experienced in a lot of industries as well. He's funded a lot of new tech companies, and he's been in the industry for many many years. But actually, he's a royalty. I mean, if you guys know Negeri Sembilan, when his father was the Agong, he was the state regent. That means he was the young the Pertuan Negeri. While
Mm.
his father, Tunku Jaafar, was the Agong, Yang di-Pertuan Agong at that point in time. So he is also very, very, very prominent, and I felt so small, but at the same time humble that he is able to even sit in with us to run through the entire project. He really goes in nitty gritty details of the project, and when you share different ideas, you can actually understand exactly why he is who he is because of his ability to grasp future technologies, and even a man at his age, he was thinking, okay, what we can do for the betterment for our society. And then he's
Mm.
very very he is very concerned about ESG, the
Mm.
role that you're playing, environment,
Yeah.
social and governance, and he's a very very humble man. I hope that you'll be able to meet him one day as well. I think Charles, you went for the meeting before with him, isn't it, Charles?
Yes, yes, once. Yeah.
Yeah. How do
Mm.
you feel as well when you met up with him?
So much to learn from a person like him. So he's very much hands-on, and I think that's very important that someone that we're able to work with someone that the seniority and able to see the future, the trends
Yeah.
just like you mentioned. That's very important, and playing an active role in this journey.
I think it's
Mm.
very important also for us to, I mean, I want to say this here because not just as for the podcast, but I think a lot of times whenever in Malaysia we have names in our board of directors or chairman, and we normally have either politicians or big names in royalty or whatever. Sometimes we tend to feel whether or not are we just using their names only, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I can guarantee you, I can tell you that I am so glad that it is definitely nothing like that at all. And he really gets his hands dirty, and he really gets down. And when we were actually discussing in terms of what are some of the potential, he actually sit down and went through one by one, and I was so impressed with that. Actually, that's
Mm.
why I'm happy to be part of this team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot of posts, a lot of pictures that you've shared with us as well. And he even recorded a video for our, to wish us like everything well
Yeah,
in Proppy, right? Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
again, subscribe
definitely.
to our Facebook channel. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, I hope to meet him someday as well. Mm.
Yeah,
Definitely,
eventually, I'm
Vivian.
sure.
Yeah.
Eventually, we will have the entire team meet up in, and I think it's going to be very soon because of our
Mm.
330, our project 330, which is at the end of the
Mm.
at the end of the month, and I'm sure you're going to be as inspired as I am. Anyone who actually goes to his office and sit down and actually either do an update will definitely get inspired and will be even more
Mm.
geared up and driven. So actually, if not because of this MCO or CMCO, I would say everybody must go and meet up with Tunku. And and this is not just the first time. He has had so many meetings with Proppy, in the course of the last 2 months or 3 months. It's amazing that he still
Mm.
wants to spend time with us.
Yeah, I think him being very hands-on, it's really important. Like you say, it's not just putting a name there. That's why when people ask me like, why are you so confident? Why are we so ambitious? Yeah, you bet we are. Other than having this prominent figure and our co-founders and founders as well. These are some projects that we want to share with you. These are some projects that our founders and co-founders have personally managed, involved in, and consulted, contributed. They have many years of experience in these related projects as well. So it's important to know that people from different background, coming in together with their own experience and building this one team, building this together. Yeah, and I think that's what's making me and maybe other propians are very ambitious. We believe that we can do it. Because we have our founders and co-founders here with us. So
I'm
yeah.
And
If you don't mind, I'm very mindful of
Yeah.
the time also because of the podcast that we're actually having about 60
Mm.
to 90 minutes. But of course, I just want to slowly allude to our listeners who's listening out there. And hopefully we will be able to have other sessions to talk about this in particular. Because if you are not aware of some of these logos and these names, there's projects up there, the big logos out there like Smart Mesh, AIOZ, Terra Virtua, Pundi X, Elastos, Indoors, Newton, Blockchain Zoo. These are very far-sighted, tremendous, revolutionary projects that our thought leader and founder, as you have mentioned, Mr. Lee Wilson, he himself has been particularly involved in, not just as an investor but an advisor and also the architect behind some of these projects, and big and. I want to also show that the depth of the team that we are able to connect with is tremendous, and these are all technologists, software developers that are really changing the landscape, the technological landscape. So we do have a direct link to a lot of all these talents that are out there. So also, sometimes people are wondering, "Hey, why did you guys talk about this particular groups? Who are they?" We're telling you that we do have access to these talents. But of course, Anta Healthcare Group and Sino Hua Hin is our Tunku's companies. And if you see those smaller companies down there, Lembaga Lebuh Malaysia, Westport, Malakoff, Malaysia Airports, Unilever Plus, Repical, these are some of the projects that our other founder, Dr. Max himself, has been individually, personally involved in the development of their IT systems, their central command system of the entire IT network. And that is why we are so confident in terms of the approach that we are going to be showcasing also to those our audience out there, and why we are saying that we are revolutionizing the property app industry as well. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Ivan. Yes. And we want to show you this is the team. This has been a very fast-paced journey for all of us. All of us here, we are taking on roles and contribute in the ways that we can. A lot of these people here, we've been working very closely with each other, although some of them I've never really met them in person before. But as I said, this journey has been a really fast one. And for myself, I personally know Ivan for many, many years now. We've been working together, and I've seen him did miracles. So I'm here because I want to know what he's doing. If it's something worth it, right? Yeah. If it's something worth it, I believe in it, then of course I'm in as well, because I believe in him. But if it's something not worth it, right? I have to say something about it, because he's my very close friend, right? So I've took my time to read about Proppy, listen and talk to the founders and co-founders, and I've got to know some people working here, Jazz. We've been working very closely with each other, and I find this an exciting journey to be on. And I've been here for about 3 months now. So that's me. I would really want to ask Charles as well about this. Charles, you've been with us for a few weeks now, because I never really got to ask you,
okay.
why are you here? Why are you here in Proppy?
I think the journey has been. I was brought in by Peter, so I think how he see this as an something, a team, that opportunity for me to work with all of these people. And I believe that the story was like, um, when you all started the Proppy, and I think I must share with the audience as well. In I think back in November or October, I think none of us met, sit down together, and that was during also COVID, and this was formed, right. The idea was initiated by those founders and of course co-founders, and I think Peter was involved in very, very much early. So he see that how I can play a role that advisory role and active role in giving some advices, especially for those property agencies, uh, related agents, related matters. So he introduced me to Wilson. Of course, I've met Wilson so much earlier when he was one of the person who um, create a lot of awareness for Bitcoin those days. And
Yeah.
I'm a follower of him and from far. And yeah, after having a conversation with Wilson, I feel honored as well. I can be part of the team and play a role in this journey because he believes that whatever that the input that we see or the gaps that we see in the market and the feedback that we are putting in is all for the benefits for the public. It's not just about us in this company to earn, but is to serve. Then it's a serving leadership, right? So you can go to serve, and this is how he inspired me, and I want to do more for not just for Proppy, I think for the market as well.
Mm. What about you, Yvonne? Do you want to like share with us a little bit about how this started?
I want to answer that as well.
Mm.
Okay,
Personally,
sure.
I think uh, I want to also make sure that everybody who's actually listening in right now, I want to set the stage also very clear that um, it's not that we don't want to share with you how great those the product that we're going to be putting out into the market, our features, our modules, and our functions. That is without a doubt is something that we have to produce. I mean, if we don't have something that is going to be unique from a corporate side, from a perspective of a market player as well, we are going to lose out, whether it's to the investor or also to the market. So it goes without saying that that is something that we definitely have to have. Of course, people who are trying to understand exactly what is it that we have, whether they want to invest in this, they need to know exactly how is this going to create a ripple effect? How is this going to create the kind of impact that we are saying that we are going to be able to do so? And because of that, actually, I will spend some time later on. In fact, later on, we will actually talk a little bit more about that, as a close. And why we are actually sharing a lot more about the team is because of the ethos that we carry, our philosophy. And as a corporate trainer myself, we do a lot of training programs for organizations that will, for example, team building to gel the team together. And you've been in some of these programs as well,
Yeah.
and you realize that sometimes there are challenges that we have, and just challenges happen in all organizations, whether you like it or not, because human beings are just such that you cannot put two and two together. Everyone is different. As a psychologist, you know that you have got to address each individual as a different person. Similarly, with every organization is also different. But one of the most important aspect in any organization in pulling a team like this together is for everyone to be aligned to that common goal, that dream. I keep telling organizations, if you want to actually build a team, you got to sell a dream. But most of the time, the dream is never embraced by the staff. And why is it so? Because it's just too far away. I give everything to the company, but sometimes it's very hard for the company to give anything back. And this is why the main ethos and the fundamental ethos of the company is that we will only do uh, the best if it's something that belongs to us. And that is where the key fundamental basis is that you need to have a strong sense of belonging. And how do you have the sense of belonging is when you have something that is part of it is yours. And when you have part of it, it's just that when you're developing it, when you're putting all your effort, it is something that will come back to you as well. And that is why I think this is so important, because the team, we have never met one another. In fact, we've never
Yeah.
worked with one another.
Mm.
And we
Yeah.
just talk. We're communicating via virtual sessions, and even and maybe because it was the MCO period as well, we couldn't really go out and meet up with one another.
I,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, it brought me back to those days, like in the 90s when you do the MRIC, ICQ thing, that before even you met the person, then you already start communicating, and you put a lot of trust into that, and it actually, after I have spoken to Wilson, what I can say that it made me wanted to be part of the team, because that is something that I believe that we able to deliver, and it's not just chipping in and then just wait for things to happen. I think if the whole team, everyone is waiting for someone to do the stuff for someone, I think it won't have this type of pace that that on the
Yeah.
30th of March we're going to have our introduction to the market.
About 20 days.
Yeah,
time.
so this really keep me motivated to wanted to make it much to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That-
but you know what
I know
makes me
about
motivated? But
yes.
what makes me motivated a lot is that actually, if you look at even this management team, and this is not all of them, we have no space to put on more, but we are actually
yeah.
adding more. In fact, you actually look at it, they are all superstars, individual superstars, every one of them. They're all individual superstars, and it's amazing because sometimes when you have a team of superstars, like Real Madrid, right? When they have all the top players playing together, they somehow rather flop, isn't it? But this is so funny because actually, if you pull each and every one out individually, they're all superstars. Vivian is a superstar. She is, she is a superstar. She runs her own. She runs her own center. She actually has so many people. She leads a team of teachers, and it's amazing that you can still come together, and we all come together separately. Individually we're so strong, yet coming together we are even stronger, and that is what I call 1 + 1 = 11. No.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so it's interesting. We were talking about everyone comes together, and actually we do have the same dream. After getting to know more, getting into Proppy. Let's talk a little bit about the dream. What Proppy has. We have a few modules. We have the Proppy Marketplace, but this marketplace is different from what we see out there, right, Charles? Do you want to
Yes.
share a bit about the Proppy Marketplace or the features?
Yeah, I think maybe you want to go to the slides that it show the whole ecosystem. I think let the audience see it's not just a simple marketplace for people to transact or to communicate. I think with the AI tools that we are going to put in place with the data, because we are also a data-driven company. So a lot of data being collected, and you look at some of the portals we talked about in the first session like last week. They have been there for 13 years. Some are there like for 10 years. But what they do is only to list out property listings, right? So, but they don't give a lot of information and benefits to publics, right? Of course, recently they say yes, yeah, maybe who and who the most searches on this area. That's all, right? They don't talk about the market trend, like the segment of people, the age segment, the group of people, and what do they look at. I think they don't really utilize the data available for them, and that is a waste, right? And we think that we're able to do more, and especially even if we put in the AI, the Proppy AI that we have in place, and going to help um, whoever that come into these Proppy apps, um, the AI to able to help them in the marketplace to predict certain trend, and to recommend certain things even before they need to go in type into this section. Like when I look at certain things that I always see, just like imagine when you last week you talked about searching homes for your ex-boyfriend, right? so, so
Yes.
imagine you won't able to search it for at the same time one time, right? So most probably you go back again another week or the week after. Then every time you go in, you have to filter, do the same filter
Yeah,
again.
do the same
They
thing.
still have to. They're not even trying to understand you. They're always like, okay, I'm here. So what do you want?
Correct.
And I think also quite frustrating, right? And when you do that, just maybe like your ex-boyfriend who doesn't understand you, right? Is the portal not understanding you, and what you would like to have is I think human
Someone who understands me.
Exactly.
exactly,
That's why
right.
ProppyCast can understand you.
That's why I think
Perfect.
yes, just
Yes,
Yes.
like
yes.
property app, this property app, right? It will be your future best friend, right? And those portal will going to be your ex, and that's how I can relate.
Wow, Charles, that's the
Like,
best. That's the best description
oh,
that we have ever had in
yeah,
the
man.
entire podcast and the entire pitch. Wow, I tell you this one, we must record this and must remember. I tell you this one that you can all the apps that you have been used to. Those are
Yeah,
your
it's gonna
ex.
be
You don't have.
yeah,
Yeah,
my
it's
exes.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
Correct,
exes.
correct. Wow, so
it
true.
gave me
Yeah.
an idea. This might become a dating app as well, right? So
Ah,
you don't swipe left or swipe right, but immediately they know what you really like, right? If you like
Mm.
a chubbier one, then they give you a chubby one. If you like a
true, true,
ball
true,
one, they
true,
give you a
true.
ball one.
True, true, true. Yes, Charles, you are absolutely correct. Giving everybody an option to actually choose and decide for themselves. I think this is where the future is coming as well. If you're looking at, I'm not sure. I'm passe. I got to ask the young ones, where is that future going to go to? And I feel like a lot of the autonomous, I mean, is given back to the users.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
are now more able to do any and everything on their own. So I
Yeah.
think it's actually good that we have a platform that will give them more freedom
Yeah.
to do a self,
Correct.
Self service,
yeah, self
Hosting.
functions,
service.
yeah.
Mm, correct, correct. It's like how my maybe my parents' generation, they would like to go to tour agencies to go, to book a tour, But for us ourselves, we really like to do everything on our own. No, we don't mind the work, doing all our own research and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it's more like an options. We prefer choices. We can opt for doing it on our own. We can also opt for going for agents. No, we don't mind because they're also a platform for agents. Right or not, Ivan? To connect with users as well. So,
Well, I
mm,
think in that context here, I think the basic fundamental understanding here is that we are an infrastructure, and we want to
yeah.
provide options
Mm-hmm.
to everyone. And if you actually look at apps, those access your X apps, whether it's the I app or the P apps or the whatever apps your
Are
access,
only single
yeah,
layer,
yeah,
right?
they're only single layer. They're only a
Yeah.
buying and
Mm-hmm.
selling, and that in the sense that the question is what is the daily usage? Who is it engaging at the same time? And if I were to ask Charles right now, if you use those apps, who are they targeting? Who are the ones that use it on a day-to-day basis, Charles?
Yeah, from what I see, they're only squeezing money from agents, right? And whoever are using it, right? Because what they have is they have the consumer reach, and the agent don't have the consumer reach, and the agent have to depend on these portals, the listing portal, naturally for their business is to I mean, when you come into business, there's a
Mm.
revenue, there's a dollar that you want to get from. I think agents are the client, one of their largest client, right? So agents and agencies. So I think these are the people that they look at, right?
Yes, yes. I think for us users as well, we it's more like a place to compare prices. In this area, what are the prices? And that's all. We are gonna delete
But
the
how's your
app.
experience like, Vivian? When you are searching that
Uh,
app?
I think it's hectic. It's very hectic. Of course, it's the only thing that we have at the moment. No, at that moment, it's the only a platform for us. The best that we can do is to compare prices. Is to look at this place, this neighborhood. How much is are the houses, and I think also there's one thing like a lot of the postings, right? their pictures are about the same. So yeah, I can't really differentiate,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I also ask you a question? How many years was back then when you were with your ex? Just not wanted to know that, but I just wanted to see
I think about
the
5 or
way it
6
was.
years ago.
Yeah, I can
Six.
say that 5, 6 years ago, what you are doing and what are you doing right now, when you go back to the portal, is the same experience. It's the same user experience. And that is how I see that they are so huge. They are and they in the market, I think they don't see a lot of competitions. And actually they think they're still winning. And that's why I'm so motivated to get this to the marketplace to really give them a, a fight for market share.
You're the right person for this now, because you actually use those platforms yourself for your business. So obviously it
Yes.
would it's the I mean, not to throw shade, but sometimes we have got to say, I mean, black is black and white is white, isn't it? And
Yeah.
as we develop, and we are now in 2021, with the whole pandemic last year expediting and also accelerating this digital transformation, digital growth, you would expect that, there are, with all our uh, moving towards data, moving towards data technology. I think in the future we are already talking about IR 4.0, IPAR 4.0 plus. I think this is where the whole platform of our service offering is, in the sense that sometimes people asking, you're just developing a property app only, what? You're just doing something which everybody else is doing already.
They're
Or,
wrong. They're so
even if
much
you,
bigger than that. I gotta say that. Sorry, I
wow.
gotta interject that. I gotta say they are wrong, and we are so much bigger than that. And I think we are ready to prove that they are really haven't seen what is really happening, haven't seen the future. Yeah,
So
we
I'm going
have
to
the
ask one
mentor of
question.
the future.
It's just and it's just at the top of my head right now. I'm going to ask you a question. So what is the features that you require for your service then, that you really need? And you say that it's going to be in the future, because you say that when you go back, they are still 5 years the same thing. So what do you expect that?
Um, I think I put myself as a consumer. Okay, I think consumer demand better services, better standard, better user experience. This is something that they haven't got it for past 10 years or 13 years, since maybe the first one started the online portal. They haven't give the public this, right. And I think that if we're able to fulfill that gap, right, which we're going to be, this will really make this whoever portal, whoever people, I don't call them a technology, because they are only listing, so it's not a technology. They only put the agent listing to their portal. All right, that's only a service. It's not even a technology. So I cannot say they are a technology company. So yeah, they don't work as smart as us, and I don't think they have people who really can visionary. I say that the leadership, maybe the people who are in that company, since I think they're listed, they're okay, then things are business as usual. Business as usual. Every year is the same. Maybe grow from revenue, then they charge more from the agent. They get more money from agent, and that's it, right? But what I can see is you look at today, even the pandemic have speed up the digitalization of the whole thing, right?
Hmm.
If last time, if I ask Vivian to meet me on Zoom, she'll think I'm crazy, right? This guy,
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
should
what's
he
the
want?
purpose, right?
Yeah, you want
Yeah.
to take my photo? You want to?
Yeah. I have to do
Maybe,
makeup.
yeah. But even like you look at Zoom, you don't even need to do makeup. They will do it for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Right. So
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
so
yeah.
yes,
so
correct.
things have really um these days people have lesser time, expect a faster response, a smarter way, a technology that able to suit them their time. I think, right, those days when you don't answer anyone, or you reply a call at after 12 hours, still okay, right? When
Mhm.
I don't know about you, even right, those days, you remember my time, I think we are the same generation. That we asked to meet our friends, and somebody late for half an hour, we're still okay, right? Because yeah, you have no access, you have
Jam
no
lah,
mobile.
you know, you drive
No,
in KL, you give us.
no, you put about 20 years back or 30
Yeah,
years back, right? I'm that old. So when you look at those days, right, if someone late, you won't say they are late because you cannot reach them. The only phone that they have is either
yeah.
home
Home
the phone
phone.
at home, or a public phone.
Yeah,
You can't really call another public phone to reach to another person.
yeah.
So look at
Correct.
those days. People are okay to little bit slower pace, and I think today, if you read someone else's WhatsApp and they expect you to respond within the next 5 minutes, if it's not, then they'll go crazy. Try that with your bosses. Try that in your organization. You know that that is the standard. I think they are not wrong. It's the same for consumer. When they search, and if they don't getting the things that they want, just like Vivian say that so many photos are the same, so many property listings still the same. If we
Mm.
make it
Mm.
so much smarter, we know the AI will study, hey, anyway, these are the same property. So why not you look at who are the agent that's serving this, right? They are right.
And the thing is, even posting those photos, I think nowadays, the users themselves can post those videos, and our content creators themselves are so much better
Yeah,
than some
Yeah.
of what these agents can do. I remember what you said last week. You know, the some
yes,
you know,
yes,
they are photographers themselves, and then suddenly, you know, you actually pay $10,000 for the travel. I mean, sorry, the agent to actually put it up
Mm.
for you, when you can actually do everything on
yeah,
your own. And nowadays we have the technology to do so. You know, whether it's a 360 virtual tour, or you know, something that is actually, you know, more common would be like a Facebook posting. And I think this is where the real game changer is, and that is
yeah,
why I think a lot of people, if you are listening in right now, I think the game changer is not that we are in the property. Uh, 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 Division or industry. We are actually a data technology company that is actually using AI, big data, and also you know, the concept of DLT, decentralized concept. Even our organization, our organizational structure is decentralized in nature. The fundamentals of decentralization and distributed technology is incorporated into the way we run this business and this organization in itself is different from the traditional outfits, the traditional organization that you are used to. Even for me, when I was first introduced this concept at the very beginning, when I sat down with the two founders, Wilson as well as Dr. Max, I was like, this is something which has never been done, has never even been presented to any organization, and we are doing it. And I remember Wilson say, yes, because we are different. We're doing things differently. We are challenging
Mm.
every norm. We're challenging every, even if you're here listening, is this the pitch or is this not a pitch? What are you trying to sell us? You know, we're not trying to sell you anything, but we're trying to allude to you that the reason why we are able to see this is that it's important for us to read the signs of the times, to read the trend, and in order for you to ride the wave of technology and ride a wave of change. And that is why our fundamental, our base layer is on this technology that it will be able to support, whether it's the marketplace of buying and selling. There are many other features that goes around it, and also to connect with the merchants, the tradesmen, the repairsmen, and also to provide our service, our AI service, our butler service in the mortgage
yeah.
optimization plan.
Even
And that's amazing.
yeah, let me also share that. Just now you say right with the wave. I think just like surfing, you don't wait for the wave to come, then only you go on the
Of
wave.
course.
So you
Mm.
got
Yes.
to even you know a surfer, they go to the
Yeah.
to the place that they know the wave is coming. So I think
Correct.
what we are sharing here is be able to see that wave. Don't wait for the wave to come, then only you are there. And maybe it's already too late, right? You see the surfer, don't chase for the wave, but ready for that wave. Right? I think
Yeah.
that's something that I wanted to share, and very
Mm.
important to everyone here. Why wait when we can see that and be prepared for that, right?
Yeah,
That's
and not just keep swimming, but swimming towards the right direction as well,
yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So to sum up, it's like a so Proppy is a multifunctional, more than just property based, utilizing data technology, kind of app. So we want to have a quick recap of the overall property ecology as well. Ivan, do you mind sharing with us how this ecology works?
So I actually
Mm,
ended last week's session at
yes,
here at this
yes,
point, and I was running very. I was just skimming through with it, hoping that we'll
yeah.
come back today. I'm also again I'm being mindful of the time that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you have gained a little bit of insights in terms of our ethos of how we actually bring people together. But ultimately, it is the product lah. It is the infrastructure that we are creating for this property app first. And why property? Because I think it is the lowest hanging fruit. At the same time, it is also where it allows the market, because I think when we see this, there isn't actually an app that is game changing. If you look at it, there's ride sharing, which is Grab and Uber, and then of course, if you have hospitality and hotels, you have Airbnb and all of that and things, just like you've
Mm,
mentioned.
yeah.
But I mean, the property is still based on what it was before, and we haven't really changed the market and the players. And this is the ecology that I would like to get everybody acquainted again. So if you are right now just a user or a potential buyer, you're looking for a house. So obviously you will be looking for the more popular app that is out there. But if you happen to, realize that hey, there is a property. So what will happen here is you are just a browser, or whether you're buyer or seller, okay, and user,
Mm,
not yet user. So what we will actually encourage you to do is to download the app and register your name and your phone number or your email. That's it. All
Mhm.
right. And immediately we are going to consider you as a user. And when you register properly, we also will incentivize your behavior. We incentivize you by giving you free property points. Now, these property points have value. It is $1. All right. So what we'll do is it will give you 5 property points. For of course it will vary and depending on as we grow in it. But we will just tell you right now that the moment you sign up, that's why we also ask you who brought you here, because if you do not acknowledge anybody, I will give you my referral code and register using my referral code.
yeah, Ivan will put up
Because
your
yes, I will put
QR
up my
code.
my QR code, because when you register, I think a lot of
Mm,
apps nowadays are like that, where you can allow. In fact, if you are in, if you know crypto, or if you download crypto wallets, it's similar. You download and you
mm,
register, you will get, the person who referred you will get 5 property points, and
Yep.
then when you register, you will get 5 property points. So which means that it's a win-win situation for both. Therefore, it there's nothing wrong. You just ask people to you just send it over and ask them to refer. So if you send to 10 people and if they register, you automatically have 50 property points. Now 50 times 4 is 200 ringgit, by just asking your friends for not doing anything but just register into that property app.
Mhm.
Of course, then you will
mm.
say, "What's the catch, right? You want my name and you want my email. It's just name and email, but you get free property points. I mean, you do that with every app anyway. So by just signing in, you are become a user. And what's the benefit of the user? Now you can actually utilize the features and the functions lah. So once you do that, we will actually prompt you. Do you have where do you stay? Are you renting a house, or do you have your own house? And if you key in your property details, we will also incentivize you. We will also reward you with property points. So again, by just adding value into the app, by just doing an action, we will give you more lah. So in that sense, we will acknowledge you as an owner, and therefore we can actually classify, oh, this is an owner. Where do you stay? You put your address. But if you don't want to put in there, you just remain as a user. Doesn't really matter. But if it's free, then and there's no harm. But it does allow us to also capture is information, so that we will be able to also say, okay, now we have the property butler. and this is the AI functionality, will then go in and then play a supporting role, almost like a PA. Now, this is the game changer. This is the interesting part because this particular AI butler, and I'm going to call him Proppy, and this Proppy, he has a lot of features that he will be able to support you with, depending on what you want to key in, what you want to put in. At the end of the day, it is your choice what you actually want your AI butler to do. The more you interact with the AI butler, and this is what we call as machine learning, the more it understands you. Of course, you can set your parameters so that you do not. Some people are more concerned about, hey, I'm not sure, whether or not whatever information I give, they will get. So we will create a parameter, a filtering for you to ensure you want to put in. But as you discover the power of the AI, it actually will help you do a lot more. And one of it is it will give you a overall property value in your area or the area that you want to. Let's say, for example, you are scouting for a potential home or a potential property that you want to invest in a certain area, and you say, prompt me when this is at this layer. It's almost like when you want to stop buy or stop sell in some of your stock. Similarly, in that sense, you're going to say, okay, I want when there's a price increase or somebody sold in, say, for example, Bangsa, and it will prompt you lah, prompt you, and then you will be given information. The information is power in this current day and age of IR 4.0. And at the same time, it will also prompt you lah. So if you have your home, last week we also shared with you this mortgage optimization plan, which is amazing because it helps you save money. But at the same time, some people will be wondering, does it really help me? Well, if you want to know a lot more, we are going to also launch our new and improved mortgage optimization plan training session. But if you can also go into our videos on YouTube, they will tell you a lot about mortgage optimization plan, where every homeowner will have to be will have to deal with their home loans for 20, 25, or 30 years. Yet at the same time, that it is actually a simple algorithm that will be able to diagnose. So this AI butler will then also support you and say, hey, would you like to diagnose your current home loan? And if you diagnose your current, and it's free at this point in time, all right? So we are saying it's free for a limited time. For how long, I do not know. It depends on how fast it grows. And it will not be free for long. So you do your diagnose now, it's free. It will tell you whether what you're paying right now is correct or not. Now, this is a very, very interesting aspect of this entire platform, because now you are now getting a little bit more involved. So how? Once you've identified that you can actually save your tenure by half, 50%, for example, we are actually offering AI Butler Proppy will give you an option. If you subscribe to this mortgage optimization plan, and depending on whether you want to reduce your tenure, your repayment tenure, whether it's 30%, 50%, or 75% of the time. So which means that if you have to pay, for example, 20 years, if you've opted for a mortgage optimization plan of 50%, you reduce your repayment by half. So instead of paying 20 years, you pay by 10 years, which means that you pay less of your mortgage interest or repayment interest, and therefore you save money, a lot of money. And if you have, and I there are a lot of actually case studies that has proven, in fact, I would come close to saying that 99.9% of the time, when we actually give people free mortgage optimization and mortgage diagnosis, almost 99.9% of the time, you are not paying at the right amount, which means by just 1% only, 1% discrepancy, you will actually end up paying a lot of money back to the bank. The bank is not going to stop you from paying them more money, right? So it's, yeah. But at the same time, but what's the difference? The difference here is that when the Proppy will also prompt you on a monthly basis, because this, you must understand, this is where it's why I call a butler, because a butler is like your PA, your personal assistant, and if you pay on time, we will also incentivize you and give you back your Proppy points. So can you imagine? Proppy will ask you, do you want to diagnose your mortgage? Yes. And you found that, there's a better way to save money. and you are able to afford that little bit extra every month, and you pay a little bit more extra every month. But at the same time, you will also be prompted by Proppy every month to say, have you paid your mortgage repayment? It will notify you. It is designed into the system to act as your PA, to make sure that you actually pay on time. And when you pay on time, then you will be incentivized, you will be rewarded. Now, there is no other feature, and there is nothing like this right now in the market. If you ask me right now, is there a mortgage reduction strategy? Of course, this mortgage reduction strategy has been around since 1999. So, which means that there are people who are already utilizing it. Yet, whether you pay or you don't pay, it doesn't really affect the people who give you this system. But we are concerned about your financial status as well, and also your ability to pay back. So we actually help you manage and notify you. So Proppy becomes a butler. And that is what a butler is all about. And this butler doesn't just help you from the mortgage optimization plan. It can also then prompt you for many other things. And this is where we also would like to expand much, much further. Because if this is such a good product that helps us save money, how about if we were to share this to our friends, if we were to be able to share this and create a business out of it, an affiliate model, a business plan that will be able to all you need to do is just refer, and there is a profit sharing model that as your network grows, and if one, and you can become an ambassador. So the choice is again yours. There is no coercion. It's all your choice. If you do not want to become an ambassador, but if somebody down your line, decides to subscribe, and then maybe you have an ambassador in between, then that person will be able to earn the profit share. But it doesn't really matter, because our model actually allows a lot more people to actually share this wealth. And that is the whole concept of distribution. That is our spirit. The spirit of the ethos is to share this wealth. That's why we say a multifaceted, multifunctional app that helps you save money and make money. And what other features that we have? We have our Proppy Embassy. Is like a dashboard that will support the ambassador, and the academy that will teach, train, and also again support the entire ambassadorship program lah. But if you look at it, that means there are more people that go out. So this is in its cycle on its own. So if you look at this ecology in itself, by just having this module on its own, you are already one app ready to go on, And this app can survive without anything else, isn't it? Because you are now just pushing for mortgage optimization plan that will help. And the best thing is that the latest news is that 2020 from Bank Negara, this is the data from Bank Negara, 650 billion ringgit of home loans. There are 650 billion worth of home loans in the country. Meaning what? Meaning there are $650 billion that is owed to the bank and still haven't been paid up. And there's only 5%, I think maximum 5% to 10% of people who understands and utilize MR, any form of mortgage reduction or mortgage optimization plan. What does it mean? This actually provides to those people who are actually an ambassador a real huge opportunity, because it's a huge net for them to actually say, oh, there are a lot of people, everybody owns a home, needs to actually pay your home loans. And that's also because of this whole cycle that you are able to connect real homeowners into the system. This is why we are very proud of this, that this will actually put into the system real homeowners, the data of our homeowners. And when you have the data of homeowners, it actually automatically provides a marketplace, a place where agencies will actually then be drawn to, right? The moment you have a ready stock of houses for people to say whether you want to sell or you want to buy. The question here is, our ethos is also the fact is that everything is up for sale at the right price, correct not? Even though you have already bought your dream home for $2 million lah. Let's say you buy your home in Canny Hills and you say, okay, I'm done. I've already bought my home for 2.5 million. Actually, 2.5 million is very cheap in Canny Hills, right?
Yeah,
and
too
if
cheap.
somebody comes up to you and say, oh, you bought your house 25 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, peninggalan, right? Left behind by your, your great grandfather, and you say, oh, I know, and somebody comes to you, okay, I offer $6 million over at Canny Hills, also considered cheap, right? And if you offer $6 million, you don't want to sell, it's up to you, again, your choice, right? Some people will say, I don't want to sell. It's okay, because it's something is sentimental or something. But if the price is right, even if it's sentimental value, if the price is right, I think the option here is you can sell. So at the end of the day, everyone, and that is why we also believe in that, and that is where we come with the Proppy Cares as well. Right now, Proppy Pre-Love. The Proppy Pre-Love. The Proppy Pre-Love, which is it's also part of the marketplace that you can actually also list your items that you want to sell at home onto the marketplace for people. And Vivian has a lot of experience wanting to sell her stuff as well, isn't it? Especially, things that the ex-boyfriend left behind, you want to sell off, isn't it?
What he left behind.
Yeah.
And make money from
yes,
that.
make money out of that.
Why
as
throw
well.
away, right? Make some money from it.
Correct.
I can help you
that's
sell
right.
also. And that's for our agents and agencies, you see that MVP here. We want to create a very high level of credible trust net. In order for us to create that, we actually make sure that the agents and agencies, they are rent-tech holders, they are qualified rent-tech holders. Rent-tech means real estate negotiators, and then only, and we will give them a verified status as well as an endorsement status. So all of this is also part of the AI infrastructure that we have inbuilt into the system that will be able to give you credit rating, and actually this is tremendous, because this is a lot that if I take this time to share, in fact, most of the time I think it's sometimes a bit too complicated. Just understand that when you like Google, when you click or Facebook, and this happens to me all the time, I'm sure it happens to you as well, especially people who like shopping, right, Vivian?
Yes.
Whenever you click
I know you're talking
something,
about me.
when you click something, and then after that, Facebook or Google will automatically keep sending you similar.
Sometimes I feel like even talking about it with a friend, sometimes I feel like they're listening.
Yeah, actually,
Exactly.
they are listening, because when you install, they ask for permission to allow
audio as
access,
well. To the microphone.
So actually, a lot of things they have heard already.
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind. I don't mind. I used to be one of those who a little bit skeptical. You're listening to me. You know what I want. But I think over the years, it's becoming more like it's
I
just
think
a
it helps
norm.
you, right? It helps you, give you a
it
better
helps you.
user experience.
Yes. Correct. It's like Charles was saying, we used to be very skeptical on My Sejahtera tracking our location as well. But nowadays it's like everyone, we have to use that because we know that it benefits us.
Yeah,
all of us.
either you are wanted to be contacted or not able to contact, and
exactly.
you're going to affect people who are around you. So
Correct.
people are I know sometimes you have somebody who cannot get the technology, cannot see the future. They of course they will say, why things are being tracked, things are tracking me. I say that, then don't use smartphone, right? What you should use is Nokia 3310.
310.
No,
I want to say that.
nothing,
Yes.
nobody will track you. Yeah.
Correct,
No, but I
correct.
think you can't run. You can't run away from it. I know that some friends who refuse to stay on Facebook or go onto social media. I mean, that is fine, but I think eventually it will also be a time where it's getting very difficult. And this My Sejahtera app and this pandemic has made it almost impossible for you to deny and not want to do it, because it's for your safety and for your health. Just in case you go to a place and then they can notify you. So you would want to do that because you also want to know, even though you can actually write your name and your number in in that context. But
Yeah.
I think it's just much easier right now when you actually have all of that. So it's going to create a completely new. In fact, the kids are already so used to this whole entire new ecosystem, where the third module where you now talk about the other services. So the question here is, what other services that you will require that will actually help you make your life much easier when you have your home law. So in a sense, that's where the Proppy Cast module come into the picture, because they talk about home care, renovation system, building,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's electrician,
Mm.
or the
Plumbing. Yeah.
plumbing and all of
Mm.
that as well. So you connect the
Right.
tradesmen. So right now, from that perspective, you will find that the current module, and I'm just saying this is for the current module, because it is non-exhaustive. Yeah, so for those of you listening and say, okay, wow, you guys have thought of this. Yes, we have thought of this entire infrastructure, we have thought of the entire process flow, we've also thought of how it works for each one of this module as well. But it is not exhaustive. It is non-exhaustive, meaning there are more. We are actually developing more, but we are going to be revealing them as the time goes, when we have when we do more of our funding rounds, because actually we are only a 4-month-old company. We started in October. So October,
Yes.
November, December, January, and now February coming to March. Oh, it's 5 months already,
Mm.
5 months old only, less than 6 months. But within that 6 months period, we have already completed our seed funding round valuation, and we are now currently doing our angel funding round, and we will be closing it very soon. And at the same time, we have also an aspiration to move towards IPO soon by 2024, and basically that is also a targeted timeline. I'm sure it will probably be sooner, but we do not want to count our eggs before it hatches. But if you can see this entire ecology in itself, it is trumping what the current market players are already having. So this is our aspiration, but this aspiration is not something that we don't have. There is already a beta version that is already on live. You can download it right now straight away, and you can also already earn Proppy points out of that by referring. But by 330, we are going to be launching our other super minimum remarkable product, which means that this is the one that is going to really change the market, and that's why we are very excited. We want to reach out to more tradesmen, more merchants, before we actually reach out to our subscribers and users. So we are actually planning this very carefully. So those of you who are listening in right now, uh, this is our secret. That's why do you want to hear a secret? And the reason is because it is not out in the market yet. So and the reason why you're here is because you have been invited by a friend, and that friend is one of us, and therefore it's either appropriate. If not, you would not have been invited. This is not a public event. This
Mm.
is a close invited event. So and if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, we would like to hear. I think, Charles, that's something we should also say, isn't it? We
Yes,
are
yes,
not
we
here,
say,
we're not perfect lah, but close
yeah.
to lah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I think when I send out the invites to some of the close people that I invited today, I see them here, and reach out to us, and then I think that chat. I think something that what just like Wilson said. I think even myself, I like to be challenged. Get connect with us, challenge our idea, and that's a chance for us to improve, right? To see where we're able to fill up the gaps, right? Because sometimes we see this from our perspective, we think that it is perfect, and something that we might miss out. And if you know that, I think, yeah, please feedback to us. I think we appreciate that effort, a little bit effort, and to make it better, right? Evan and Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. We are trying to create values for each and every one of everyone out there. It's how everyone is also a stakeholder, and how Proppy, we really do try to create values for each of these stakeholders. We want to talk about a little bit about, let's start with the merchants. We have Under Proppy Cares, we have Proppy Pink, that cares for us as a homeowner. It's like Ivan was saying just now, we have services for air conditioners or plumbing, electrician. It cares for the homeowners. But as for the merchants, if you are coming in as a merchant, you can be providing your services, putting it on our platform, um, and users will see it. You can be getting users on just our platforms, right, Ivan?
Well, I think it's not just users will see it, because I think users need it regardless.
Yeah.
You need. I mean, during the pandemic period, I had a lot of problems in my house. My roof was leaking. My gate was, I had problems with my electric gate. My Wi-Fi had problems. I actually had to change my entire fence. I got
Yeah,
a
new
brick
home.
wall. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh man. And I'm a part of Proppy. I was like, damn, if only Proppy was already there. Now I've got to go and search for
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
and if you are single, if single without a boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, who who do you call, to
Mm,
when you're home stuck all by yourself, or you're a
yeah.
single mother, who do you call? So at the end of the day, you want to, call a trustable source. You want to call,
Credible.
yeah, a
Yeah,
credible
correct.
serviceman, and
Mm,
that's exactly what we want to provide as well. So in actually for the merchants, you want to go where the market is, and this is really market in itself, similarly to the agents, isn't it? So when you talk about property developers and property agents, it is they are you are also a stakeholder, because here you can also put your listing on this platform for potential home buyers who are already, if I'm looking for a second home, or I'm looking for a second wife. I'm sorry, I mean third wife or third home. In the sense that you want to provide a new option for them to actually, have a much, it's like another home. So the marketplace actually provides that option for them as well, and that's why homeowners, for us, who have homes, it's really to support our ability to save money. And this is
mm,
a tremendous platform, a tremendous option for us to consider, putting an option, for even if you already have paid up your house. The question here is, can I take and refinance my house? A lot of people don't want to
mm,
refinance because I don't want to go through that whole hassle again,
Yeah.
that 30 years of repayment. But now I can actually utilize a mortgage optimization plan. So for potential home buyers, who, even though you have already paid off your homes, and you might not even be looking at home, you can refinance, and the cash that you get from from refinancing can be used either to enhance a business, reinvest, or maybe, buy another property, and you will end up paying half. I mean, you can reduce your 10-year payment again. So the options is tremendous for homeowners. Obviously, users, if, like, for example, right now, for you, Vivian, as users, you may not have a home,
mm,
but you can use this and create a business module plan for yourself as an ambassador, to say, okay, let's create. In fact, right now, a lot of people are stuck at home, may have been retrenched, may have, and they are moving towards either online marketing, or even, network marketing, to be able to do this. And this in itself is not entirely multi-level in this context. And I would also say
mm,
that it is not, but it is distributed network marketing. It is distributed, and it allows you to expand and grow your business a lot faster. If you want to know more about our Proppy ambassadorship, come in for our MOP training. And when we actually relaunch in 330, then you will understand actually how powerful and how amazing this is going to be as well. So if you look at it, investors, you are also a potential stakeholder as well, because in this context, the Proppy Butler will help you manage your portfolio, tell you where to buy, how much is it, and prompt you. And you don't have to worry, you don't have to keep checking the newspaper or checking the app. It will prompt you, and this is exactly where the power of this technology. So actually, look at it now. Everyone is a stakeholder. Everyone can participate, and everyone can also be an ambassador, whether you're a merchant, agent, investor, or a professional, because you have a home. All you need to do is just to refer. And that is why it's so powerful that we have a base layer of our listing with our property. We have our extended layer, which is actually all the other peripheral services. And we have one of the most important thing, which other people don't have yet. Because eventually when we launch this, I'm sure a lot of other copycats will want to be on it as well. That we have a distribution layer, and it's an organic distribution layer. So be on this or be left behind.
Hmm. Yeah. So the question is now, where are we heading, or why are we all here today? What is the next step? I I believe we are here today because we are invited by our friends, but I hope you can bring back something with you today, and also try to listen more to us, get to know a little bit more about us if this is your first time, and also talk to us, to maybe get in touch with us, with our co-founders and founders, what is our next step, we'll be keep sharing with you, because the runway is getting shorter, like we were saying, we are heading towards our first launching, we are going public. Yeah. So also, Yvonne, you want to share anything about this?
Actually, the thing is, when we say what
Maybe
is
you
the
want to
next
share
step,
out the opportunity,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, we are not
I think
selling anything.
Mm.
Let me be very clear. If you guys are listening
Mm-hmm.
for the first time and you're scratching your head right now and asking, hey, what is it that you are selling? Are you pitching? We are not selling anything to you. We are only pitching an idea to you, and we are pitching the concept and telling you exactly what is it that we have already crafted, what we have created, and why we think that this is going to be the next big thing in this game-changing market as well. Why we are going to be game-changing this market. I believe if you actually look in terms of if you can see the trend in terms of what goes on in the market, like for example Uber, or if you talk about these big companies that is actually out there, you will find that it takes time to reach this where they are at this point in time. So if I were to use the two closest, I wouldn't even want to allude to them as competitor, but in terms of comparison, because of what they are doing, which is actually a property based app out there, and we are in a way in this current sphere. I wouldn't say market, it's just a sphere, like you're in the same climate but in a different country, that kind of thing. This is they have actually attained their level after going through their own progress, that evolutionary progress. But if I were to ask you to look at Air Asia did not was able to actually fly, was because Virgin Airlines did all the work. And they actually did the groundwork, established this low cost flights. You remember, not low cost flights was actually frowned upon because you don't have meals, you have to buy your own
Yeah.
meals. Can you imagine the
Yeah.
first few years when AirAsia came into the fray, where you actually run? I remember the first time I took AirAsia, we waited at the gate, and when the gate opened, because it was not seating, there was free seating, they literally
Have to
run
run.
straight to the on the tarmac, and go into the plane so that they can sit in the front seat. Then
You
it
have
cost a
to
lot of
work.
yeah, you can remember that. But it actually took time for them to actually reach that level. Now,
Yes.
if you understand evolutionary process of any form of market, it takes time. So they came into the market in 27, 2010, 2011, 2013. It took them those years to reach where right now when you say, oh, you mean this company, oh, this app, or like that, these apps because it is already there. But they have stayed stagnated since when they started, which means that there isn't much evolution, and it's very slow. Evolution means very slow, but the time is right for a new revolution. Revolution means rapid evolution, a new revolution in mainstream adoption. Now, adoption is the key here. first is subscription, right? That means I have people who understand. So you will get market in a sense that adoption. Now you need to mainstream it. That means you need to have massive adoption. How you revolutionize it, this is the timing. And we're talking about timing. If you look back into our timing right now, where we are, pandemic, we are all working from home. But at the same time, the market is going to be recovering soon. We're going to get vaccinated. It's going to take at least another year for full vaccination to happen. It's going to take another year before actually we can actually go and fly again, as how we used to fly. I got a meeting in Cambodia. I buy my ticket today and tomorrow I fly, and then I decide what to do, but I cannot do that right now.
Yeah.
And they say that normal air travel is only going to go back in 2024. So if you look at all of this, and these are the news that's happening right now in the market, what we are doing right now is that this is the time where, when before a real war happens, you need to build your capabilities. You need to stay hunkered down. But when you're hunkering down, you're not doing anything. You must do something. If you have been, if you were a fighter and you've been knocked down, what you do? You don't stay
Keep
down. You
training,
keep
right?
training.
Yeah.
You keep going back. And this is the time where the market is still a bit soft, hasn't come in. But when the market is really ready for a new player into the market, you know what? We are there for you. Just like what you said, the wave. To ride the
Yes.
wave. In order for that to happen, there is a gradual progress, but it's getting more rapid. So you know what? We are poised at the right time, and we are very young, and which means that we are going to go a few more rounds in terms of our funding. And if you are here because you've been invited by our heng tai, which means that I will trust you to actually talk to your heng tai. Who asked you to be here is because it is a closed session. You don't need to, you don't have to speak to me. You can speak to your friend, but you can listen to me and ask your friend, what is this and how is this going to change our lives, in your lives as well. We hope that you will be. I want to leave you with the wise words of my very good friend, Mr. Lee Wilson, who's also the CEO and founder. The fact of the matter is this. Yes, we all have money. Some of you have lots of money. And you say that, I want to know exactly what is it that I can actually get out of this. What's the difference between your 1 million and my 1 million? It's not that money is fungible, but the ability to put your money into a project, into an out of this world project that will be able to revolutionize, change the world, is something that requires a lot more than just your ability to have money. It's your ability to see the future. It's your ability to actually predict what could happen. If you were given an opportunity like this 25 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago, would you invest into Grab? Would you invest into Uber? Would you invest into Apple or Jack Ma's, Alibaba? In hindsight, is 2020, right, Charles? Vision
Yes.
2020. You can say right now, oh, I would. Yet at the same time, if this is an opportunity in 25 years from now, this is going to realize the potential of where it was. This is why it's so interesting for us, because you know what, you are at the cusp of this real opportunity that you can actually take it, and it's not because it's driven by anyone else. It's driven by visionaries themselves. We are very proud to actually work together with everyone that has come in.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be a very exciting journey with our fellow propians. Yeah, Charles, you
I,
wanted to say something?
yeah, I would like to add in as well. You
Mm.
see, a lot of time that sometimes people say that they don't have the opportunity, but when the opportunity show up in front of you and you have too many doubts, I think what you need to do is to seek clarity. It's not to doubt
Mm.
it, or else you can't sleep well, right? What if just take about you look at the market, just I take a simple one, right? Bitcoin, I think everyone know now Bitcoin is on the high side. You put it back 3 years ago, right? If I talk to you about this, you may say that it's crazy, right? Investing in Bitcoin, you don't know what is that. But I think this year, if you don't buy it, I think you're kicking yourself, right? it's about 10 times the value of those days in 2018, the lowest. And ask yourself again, some that's why I say that you got to understand that. So for me, when I talk about Bitcoin, I don't go into it because I don't understand it, right? Until by the time I understand it, it's
It's too
really
late.
too late, right?
Yeah.
So what I suggest to people or audience here is, if you don't understand what we are doing, uh, seek clarity from the people that invited you into this, and then at least you have your question being answered. You can you can make a better decision. Yeah, it's not necessary that you have to come in, but at least, right, you a decision being made, right, whether you are in, you are not, or when after maybe 3 years, the whole thing, if you have seen properly, and then that time at least, right, you can tell people that how not intelligent you are at that time, that you don't ask a question, or you intelligent enough that you ask clarifying question, and you make a decision. At least you know, right, why do you make that type of decision at that time, right? And that's not wrong, right, by not coming in. But I think is seeking an answer. That's very important, right, Vivian? Right.
Correct. Yeah.
uh,
And we really do welcome your questions, your feedback, or even challenges. Our founders and co-founders are also always saying that. Yeah. So there are so many things that we wanted to really share with you, but we can't do it in one or two sessions, and we've even actually exceeded our 60 to 90 minutes sessions today. So for those of you who really want to seek clarity and know more, please do get in touch with us, with any one of us here, or your friends, or our co-founders and founders. So and every Sunday night we are having these sessions, for Saturday night we are having Mandarin sessions as well. So for those of you who are listening in, who are still here, this is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. This is our secret. And thank you for staying on with us. I hope you have enjoyed our conversations today with Ivan and Charles. So
thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vivian.
Thank
Well
you.
done on your first hosting. I'm so proud of you. Must give you a big hand and a big clap.
Yeah,
And you're
thanks
gonna
for
do this
giving me
more
that
often every
opportunity.
week. All right. I will retire right now.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you very much for being here. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.